Hey everybody, thank you for joining me today. Today, for episode 2 of Toys of My Childhood, we are going to be taking a look at M.A.S.K. Now, we're going to be looking at two things. The first is going to be the Raven, and we're going to be looking at Scott Trakker and T-bob. Now, these are not my original toys, unlike the previous episode of Toys from My Childhood, where we looked at the Kenner Superpowers Clark Kent, and that was my original one from when I was a kid. These are toys that I have bought again as an adult to replace the fact that I no longer have any of my M.A.S.K figures, but I think it's a really cool toy line. Now, M.A.S.K has been in the news lately because last weekend at Toy Fair, we got our first look at the Loyal Subjects new M.A.S.K line that's going to be coming out, and they look like pretty accurate and faithful remakes of the original toys. So of the toy line when I was a kid, I did have the Raven, I had T-bob and Scott Trakker, I had Matt Trakker and the Thunderhawk, I had the the Venom Switchblade. I had that vehicle, and I think those are all the vehicles I had. I may have had one or two others, but I don't remember any of the other vehicles that I would have had. I know I did not have the Rhino, the truck. I always wanted it. I thought that was really cool. I remember one of my friends had it, but I never had the truck. I did also have Boulder Hill when I was a kid, and that was one of the coolest play sets because it was a gas station secret base of M.A.S.K. And I wish I still had my original, but I don't know where that ended up going. It may have got broke, may have got sold at a yard sale. I have no idea. But I'm hoping that we'll get a remake of it from Loyal Subjects, because every time I see it somewhere, like in the local comic and toy store, or if I see it at a convention, it is a very expensive playset to try to buy the original of. So let's take a look at these and get into it. So this is the Raven. Now, I don't have the driver for this. I'm also missing the disc that shoot out of the front. But other than that, I believe it is complete. I picked this up for about $15 at the Augusta Toy and Comics Show. This was probably 4 or 5 years ago. It has been a while since I picked this one up, but I've kept it in my collection since then. So let's just take a look at the features of the vehicle. So again, this is the car. Now, all the tires do have these that pop out. I don't know if these are guns or what these are supposed to be off the top of my head, and I didn't look it up beforehand, but those all pop out on all 4 of the tires. And then all 4 of our tires do fold up underneath the vehicle. Now, there is a button here on the side. When you press this, it flips over the front of the car. And then now this, it's already kind of popped up because this doesn't want to stay down, but when you press the button up here on the top, it pops. Well, let me do this again. When you press this button here on the top, that pops up. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Let's see if we can get it to work. But it doesn't look like we're going to get it to right now. And then both doors will fold down. So that is the full transformation of this vehicle. So that is the Raven. This is T-bob and Scott Trakker. Scott Trakker is the adopted son of the protagonist of the series, Matt Trakker, or I'd say the main protagonist of the series. He's the leader of M.A.S.K. So Scott here doesn't really do anything. T-bob, his arms come out, his wheels come down, so he has his legs, so you could just stand them up, although he's going to want to roll here. And then also with T-bob, you can turn his head. And that's pretty much all you get out of this. Now, this is the one I have the most nostalgia for out of any of my M.A.S.K figures. This was my first M.A.S.K figure, I believe, when I was a kid, was T-bob and Scott. I remember being in a grocery store with my dad and seeing this hanging there. It wasn't in the aisle. I think it was in a like a separate section kind of in between the aisles and the registers. And I remember seeing it and asking my dad if I could have it, and he bought this for me. So I remember specifically getting this toy when I was a kid, and I think it was the first M.A.S.K figure I had. So I have a lot of nostalgia for it. I actually got this at Toy Federation. I saw this at the Augusta Toy and Comic Show one year. Not the same year I bought this, but a different year. I did see this at the Augusta Toy and Comic Show at one of the vendors, but I decided to pass on it, and I said if I saw it the next day at the show, I would buy it, and then the next day somebody had bought it, so it was already gone. So I did not buy it then. I actually ended up paying less for it. I think it was $50 at the show. When I got this at Toy Federation, it might have been $40, maybe $35. I think I paid less, though, than I would have paid. Either way, this is a piece that I don't see as often when it comes to M.A.S.K stuff. So I'm glad I was able to get this at Toy Federation. Shout out to them. Check out their channel. I'll tag their channel below so you can follow that link and go watch some of their videos. You can see their process for when they get people selling them classic toys and everything. I think it's very interesting. But there you go with Scott Trakker and T-bob. Thank you so much for watching today. If you're a fan of M.A.S.K, if you had the toys as a kid, if you're looking forward to the new toys, if you just think this was a neat video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check out my other videos and leave a comment below. I do try to respond to all comments, so I'd be happy to respond to any comments if you have any commentary on what your favorite M.A.S.K vehicle was or what you liked about the M.A.S.K cartoon. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.